You know, after the Maple Leafs signed Nick Robertson and they signed Max Pacioretty, you can kind of understand what the Leafs want. Like, you can look at each individual of these players and you can see, what do they offer and what don't they? Even with Max Pacioretty, like I said in one of my last Maple Leaf videos, he is a really talented player in some ways. He's very good at certain things, right? He's a very good perimeter shooting threat, especially he's pretty good on the power play in that regard. And that's going to be a huge benefit to the Maple Leafs. There's no doubt about that. You look at Nick Robertson. He is the definition of a one-way, one-dimensional player, but he can really shoot it, and he can really shoot it accurately. And I think if he improved his game in other ways, he could even get better. You look at Easton Cowan. I mean, we don't know what he's like at the pro leagues yet, but he has had a history of being a strong two-way winger. Now, here's the thing. If you can be a strong two-way winger and you can score, let's say, I'm not saying he's going to score this, but let's say 50 to 60 points, I mean, that would make him the most valuable, in my opinion, but we don't know exactly what Easton Cowan is going to be at the pro leagues just yet. And then you have Matthew Nyes. Matthew Nyes is an very intriguing player to me. His offensive ceiling last year wasn't that good, but I think that he can go higher than that. He's a big, powerful winger, right? A big kind of power forward, powerful winger. Players like this are very valuable in the National Hockey League, pretty decent at winning battles. I mean, at least better than the smaller wingers, and certainly better than that Max Pacioretty. And then you have Bobby McMahon, who is also a pretty good player, but we had a short stint of him. He has some injury issues. Now, what do all of these players have in common? They're all left wingers that are going to be competing for a job. Now, Elliot Friedman did recently say that there is a left wing logjam, and the Maple Leafs want competition, right? They want competition. And you know what? Honestly, that makes sense to me, right? They really want competition. But I'm wondering what they're going to do with this. Like, for example, from Max Pacioretty's point of view, and his literal agent, Alan Walsh, tweeted out that they expect to be signed to a contract and to play for the Maple Leafs this season. Now, Max Pacioretty has a lot of injury history, right? So, I mean, what exactly are they going to do there? I'm not sure about this, because you got to have space for somebody. But Elliot Friedman has been saying that the Maple Leafs do want competition on their left wing. And I wonder if they do the same thing that they did last year when Minton made the team. I mean, for a very short stint, and then he obviously showed that he wasn't ready to make the NHL, but we won't talk about that right now. Perhaps they will probably do the same thing, where they will actually trade a player out of Toronto just to make room, and that actually probably honestly does make a lot of sense. But there is a logjam here and an issue, but I don't actually mind this, because another thing that I'd like to say is that I wish that it was capable for some players to go down to the AHL. Like, I really do wish it was available for Easton Cowan to go to the AHL, because there are times where you feel that the player can't accomplish anything else by being up in the in the OHL. Like, what is he gonna prove there? And then, at the end of the day, you can only really send him. You can't send him to the AHL, so you got to send him to the NHL and get him minutes. But maybe he might grow more in the American Hockey League, let's put it that way. But unfortunately, because of the stupid agreement, they literally can't do that, like Cowan can't. Now, Minton does have the ability to go there, so I'm wondering, I think Minton is going to spend some time in the American Hockey League, but I really do wish that Cowan could go there as well. Each of these wingers do have their own special talent, and they have their weaknesses. right now, in my opinion, now we haven't seen this player in the National Hockey League, but the only one that is an all-around player that I really like is going to be Cowan, and he can also play in the penalty kill. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I would not want to see Nick Robertson on the penalty kill. I would not want to see Max Pacioretty. Like, these are very, at least right now, one-dimensional players, but when it comes to Max Pacioretty, he's like an older player as well, and you're like, I don't mind what they're doing there because they need to find scoring, and scoring absolutely has been an issue for this team, especially when they get in the playoffs, especially when they get in the power play. You know, in the playoffs, I mean, sometimes their power play when it goes to the postseason is so bad that you don't know what the hell they're doing out there, right? You know, this is going to be a pretty complex thing to figure out, to find the right mix for the Maple Leafs, because they need to find the right mix by the playoffs, especially too. Because just because you make the team doesn't really mean that's how it's going to be when the playoffs roll around anyway. But either way, that's all I wanted to touch on. I'm going to end the video now. If you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm right. And have a good day, guys. Thanks. Bye.